A man had 2 sons. When the younger told his father, "I want my share of your estate now, instead of waiting until you died," his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, his younger son packed up all of his belongings and took a trip to a distant land. And there he wasted all of his money on parties and prostitutes. About the time his money was gone, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him to feed his pigs. The boy became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the swine looked good to him, and no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired men have enough food to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired man.'" So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long distance away, his father saw him coming, and he was filled with loving pity and ran and embraced him and kissed him. His son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and you, and am not worthy of being called your son." But his father said to the slaves, "Quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him, and a bejeweled ring for his finger, and shoes. And kill the calf we have in the fattening pen. We must celebrate with a feast. For this son of mine was dead and has returned to life. He was lost and is found." So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard dance music coming from the house, and he asked one of the servants what was going on. "Your brother is back," he was told, "and your father has killed the calf we were fattening and has prepared a great feast to celebrate his coming home again unharmed." The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, All these years I've worked hard for you and never once refused to do a single thing you told me to. And in all that time you never gave me even one goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after spending your money on prostitutes, you celebrate by killing the finest calf we have on the place." "Look, dear son," his father said to him, "you and I are very close, and everything I have is yours. But it is right to celebrate, for he is your brother, and he was dead, and he has come back to life. He was lost and is found."
In the middle of the afternoon, on a very hot day on a farm in ancient Palestine, under the shade of a sycamore tree.
Slopping off on the job again, I see.
What do you mean again?
You know very well what I mean.
I take a brief break from pulling in the hot sun and you think I'm heading off to wine, women, and song again in Persia?
Well, what am I supposed to think, pig feeder?
Face it, you're just jealous. You really, deep down, wish you'd been traveling and partying with me, don't you? You can be just as rotten as I've been, only you don't have the nerve to rebel outright like I did. You can only hit me, dig, and call me names.
How long before you take off again and come back, expecting another party in your honor, expecting us to bail you out again at our expense? How long, huh? Some days I can hardly wait till you take off again, no matter what it costs us next time.
My sons, stop this moment. What has gotten into you?
Dad, I didn't know you.
I'm sorry, Father.
Well, it's just as well that you both start getting this stuff off your chest, and just as well that I hear it. So, Michael, son, why are you still holding a grudge against your younger brother?
I'm sorry, Father. I've tried forgiving and forgetting, but I'm not as good at it as you are.
I've had 30 more years than you have to practice it. Every one of these gray hairs in my head and in my beard represents some hurt and some sorrow that I have chosen to let go. Since I don't hold them in my heart, where they can embitter my soul, they go into my hair.
his part of the inheritance has gone for good, yet we still have his mouth to feed, because you always forgive and forget. People take advantage of soft-hearted fools like you, you know.
And Dad, you can do something now about all that gray hair. The Grecians have a formula. It's all the rage in Asia Minor.
It's the rage in Asia Minor, all the rage in Persia or Greece or Rome, or all the other godless death-bed places you've been. We haven't. You've seen the world, but we've slaved away here at home. Same place where we've been born, same place where we'll be buried. You just have to keep rubbing it in, don't you? Well, it's so.
Where was that? Well, if it's so great out there, why don't you go back and live it up again with some more pigs?
Michael!
Oink oink, your friends are calling.
Michael!
Sorry, Father.
And Ralph, still trying to preserve youth, whatever the cost. I see, it's not just my own aging that bothers you, is it? It just goes to prove that youth is wasted on the young. I'm not afraid of growing old and dying, and I'm years closer to it than either of you. Why would you fear death or aging?
I'm always afraid that I might miss out on something while wasting away in this lonely little one-horse backwater of a hill country hick town.
Well, I once feared that too.
Really? How did you get over it?
Well, I started getting old. It's not so bad. And you don't have to go off to Persia or to Greece to see wonders and marvels. God shows me wonders every day.
Like what?
Don't get me started, Ralph.
Like,
Here we go again.
like sunrises and sunsets and the growth of the wheat and baby lambs, the grapes turning into wine. Your births, your childhoods, your bar mitzvahs.
The grandchildren?
Right, and grandchildren.
I've heard it all before, and look how thrilled we are, back home together. Oh, joy. One big happy family, aren't we?
Heaven help us. I got one son back just to lose the other one.
I haven't gone anywhere lately, have I?
We have lost you now to a faraway country, a distant land called self-exile and resentment.
Look, I'm the one who expected to be miserable here for the rest of my life. Look at you two. If my coming home has caused more sorrow than my going, then I'll leave. I'll go back to feeding pigs even. I'll save the money and send it to you to pay back all that I took.
No, don't go. I already have all I could ever want.
How touching. But yes, go for all I care. It was better here without you. Just toss the fatted calf.
Michael!
Well, what am I supposed to say? It was my 4-H project.
Such talk shames me.
It's this son of yours who shamed you, Dad, when he demanded his inheritance, even while you were yet alive. Then you shamed yourself even worse when you gave him his inheritance, and again, even more when you're running like a boy to beat him and took him back.
What do I care about public opinion? And as for you, Ralph, do you really think I care about the money that you took?
It would make me feel a lot better if I could repay it, Dad.
Do you think I even kept track of what you took? Have I ever calculated it and told you how much it's worth? For all I know, next year's harvest will more than pay it back. And next year, a drought or a cattle disease could take it all away, twofold. Right now, we have all that God wants us to have. We have each other, and that's enough for me. Besides, the party didn't help you feel much. How much you're welcome? What more can I do to make you feel loved and welcome, my son?
Nothing, Dad. Nothing. You've already done so much more than I could ask or deserve.
Or more than you ever did for me.
Mike, for every day out there that my stomach shrank and my ribs grew through my skin, I thought about how just being home with family was plenty enough reward. You don't feel that way too?
And don't you know, Michael, I would have thrown such a party for your return had you been gone, for whatever reason.
So now you want me gone? Maybe I should go.
It's not better out there, Mike, believe me. You'll just find out there the same hell that you're carrying around inside of yourself, like I did.
That's easy for you to say, party boy. You've been there, done that, and dear old Dad and I paid your way.
Once I would too have been jealous of someone who ran off into the world to play.
You think I'm jealous of this pig-feeding lowlife?
But when you come back, Michael, I will still love you.
So you then interpret my going away as jealousy? No, thank you. I'd rather stay.
Mike, would my staying make you even more miserable than you are now?
Well, duh, of course.
Then I'm staying, too.
So just when did you two clowns stop growing? Did we do your bar mitzvahs too soon? You need more help than I can give you. Michael, I challenge you to finish growing up and stop keeping score in life. An eye for an eye just makes everybody blind. And Ralph, I challenge you to grow up and stop calculating and competing like younger brothers so often do. Learn to accept, just accept the fact that you're forgiven. You've got a fresh new start for free, with no strings attached and nothing to prove. I will make your dear old dad happy. You guys want to know what else would make me happy?
What, Dad?
If you too could be happy.
Dad, I don't deserve to be happy.
That's right. He doesn't deserve to be happy, and I do. So why am I so miserable?
I know a way you each could make all three of us happy, at least until the next drought.
All right, Dad, what is it?
You two clowns could just love each other the way I love you both. Even when you're acting like perfect schlemiels, I still love you dearly. Why can't you accept your father's love for yourselves and then share it with each other?
And I hold myself before this son of yours?
And humble myself before this other son of yours again? You're right, Dad. For that, we'll need more help than you can give.
Speak for yourself, Ralph.